And if the falling in love with God is just a one-night stand, it is a nice story. A beautiful story. And I recommend those people who like stories to stop eating and remember the meal they had last year. To stop bathing and remember this feeling of freshness and cleanliness they had last month. To stop drinking water and remember the satiation that they have from the previous glass. And with the 3 examples, you'll tell me, no way. I need my meal. I need my water. I need my nowness. I need it ongoingly. But we're not that demanding with our spiritual experience, that it needs to be constant. Because we compare in our mind the moments that we consider a passage or initiation and want to reclaim it exactly the same. Impossible, because you already got transformed. Easy example, since this conference also relates to sexuality. Once upon a time you were a virgin, remember? You don't remember. The next time you were not a virgin anymore. And yet you could be present, enjoyable, expanded, and growing. But if you were seeking the same experience, wrong planet. The openness happens once. Being born is being born. Now, if you don't get it this time, you get to be born again, says the Upanishads, and you get to be born as many times till you get it. Generosity of the system. Is it a wonderful system? You don't need to get enlightened now. You don't need to experience love now. You don't need to have happiness now. Do it next lifetime. You don't want that. You want it now. You want the messianic consciousness now. And you still think it's out there. You still think somebody's going to come from outside and say, bidi-bidi, bidi-bida, it's all done for you. But haven't you learned that walking came from crawling and you had to do it alone? That dancing came from walking and you had to move yourself alone? That loving came from that experience of example of the flow of love that comes from the previous generation in its own way. And yet it comes because we make it, we survive, we go on. But you have to let go of that too, to become a self-generating turbine, a self-generating machine that allows for you to be the giver and the first receiver of that gift, which is the opening of the heart. Just lower your attention as we continue in this afternoon from head to heart. Just lower your attention and go into your chest, and let's continue listening to that from a chest perspective. Because so many times we try to grab the concepts in our wrinkled foreheads. We try to grab it so that we can have the idea and run off and do nothing in our lives about it. That know it already. That's not knowing. That's having a piece of information that probably, if implemented, can help us. I always thank my teachers. They took away everything. They just left me naked. You know, in my own path, when I was a little kid, I had a grandfather who transferred blessing. And I recall when I was 1 year old. Were you ever 1 year? Do you recall it? You're not looking. Because I can assure you, you were 1 year, 1 day. Not remembering that means that you're interested in something else. That's fine too. But I remember. He looked into my eyes. His blue eyes of this 80-something-year-old man. And I felt a relief. All these other members of the family were celebrating my first birthday of my body.